I was a lighting and a sound designer for live entertainment. That was my first career. In the late '90s, the word on the street was if you wanted to get hired for the big shows, the big live shows in entertainment as a designer, you had to have a graduate degree. So I went to graduate school, and then out of that was this, well, I don't want to go to New York. I grew up in California. I like California. I want to go back to California or the West Coast at least. But having a degree that is from an industry that has a broken business model, live entertainment, really, you're not going to make money unless you're doing rock and roll concerts or industrials, so conventions. Theater is broken, but I had a degree in theater. It just became this, struggle of, okay, how am I going to make money? And so I moved to Las Vegas, and then that company got bought out by another company, and then that company was really strange. I remember the guy hired me, and he said I had to re-interview for my job from the company I got bought out, and I was the last one out of the shop to get interviewed, and he said, "All right, great, good to have you on board," and he smacked me on the butt, and I thought,
Whoa.
that's strange. So I go to the other guys, and these are shop guys. These are blue collar. Even though I had gone to grad school, no one cared. You start back in entertainment, they're meant, especially in Las Vegas, it's meant to pull people off the street and train them. So my graduate degree never meant anything. So these hardcore shop guys said, "Hey, did that guy smack you on the butt?" And he said, "No, what are you talking about?" I said, "Man, I got to get out of here." so, I just started applying, just hustling, hey, I have this degree, and I found out that the UNLV dance department, or sorry, the theater department didn't have a sound design course, and I had an MFA, had a terminal degree in the subject. I thought, well, the university will let me teach it, so hey, let me teach it. And that they liked me. They didn't have any money though, and they said, but the dance department has a new opening for a visiting assistant professor, and they actually needed a resident lighting and sound designer. They said, you should apply. So I applied, and I got it. So I got out of the butt smacking guy, and
Yeah.
I'm all of a sudden I go from working in a shop and pushing boxes to being a university professor in 2 weeks. Never having wanted to be a university professor, I just had to get out and succeed. And so ever since then, my life has been, I say, I say professionally, my life peaked in 2004 with that job at UNLV. And then it's just been a struggle through different things. I mean, I got caught up in the housing crisis to 2008, lost a house in 2004 or 2012 out of it. And that's what got me into understanding what homelessness was in the United States. That's what got me into filmmaking. I got married, and my mom was always on me to have a good job with insurance. So once that contract at UNLV was up, I took a position at UC Riverside. They needed a resident lighting and sound designer. So I was there, and I thought, all right, this is stability. This is what my mom wants. This is what everyone wants. And then I got in a motorcycle accident, broke my leg and hip,
Mm.
and fortunately, the university didn't fire me, but I had to recuperate. And then the girlfriend that I was seeing decided that she was going to stick around, so I kind of owed her. And then she moved me into her place to rehabilitate. And then she said, "Hey, you want to buy a house?" And this is in 2006. "Hey, you want to get married?" And I just thought, all right, well, this is the success story, right?
Yeah.
But you get married for the wrong reasons, it doesn't work out. And you buy a house because a realtor tells you this is what you need to do, and you don't know the game, and everyone's getting taken advantage of in a big way, but you don't know that's coming around the corner. It doesn't work out. And then you become a university professor because you were just trying to get out of some guy smacking you in the butt, it doesn't work out. so you make these life choices and then you think, all right, well, what do I really want in life and how am I really going to succeed? Because yeah, it's been a wild ride. I've been hit by distracted drivers more than 6 times,
Whoa.
on a motorcycle. More than 3 times. It's really hurt my body. And so yeah, I always say life is chaos. But out of that, talking about films,
Yeah.
my newest Deuce, it's a feature length narrative feature film, but I'm looking for funding for it. But in the meantime, I thought, what am I going to do? So I made this animated film short, and it took me 3 years because I got hit again in January 2022, and it messed me up. Didn't break anything, but a lot of soft tissue damage. I'm still going to physical therapy for it. But on October 10th, because I've just buckled down, you need to succeed, you need to be out there, you need to be relevant. My new animated short film, The Bag, is it's public on YouTube and it's on the film festival circuit now. And I released it on October 10th, and it's doing well. And again, it's the same thing. It's kind of success out of poverty. It deals with a guy that he's sleeping on the street and an addict tries to steal his stuff and he gets his bag ripped. And when you're all the people that I talk to on the street, their whole lives are in this bag that they carry with them. And so it
Yeah.
deals with the anxieties of what that means to have everything taken away from you and vulnerable. And then it also deals with how he's now on his search for a replacement bag. And so he's asking the public, and it's also a story about how the public, the proper public, the housed public interfaces with him, right? And the one guy that kind of gives him a chance is in danger of um, receiving the brunt of this guy's frustrations, right? And we've all been there, right? In my work to kind of solve homelessness, which really started in 2010, people always are just worried about that interaction of interfacing with a homeless person. Well, what if they're a criminal? What if they're on drugs? What if? And so it kind of deals with that, and hopefully, it's a comedic and respectful way, and hopefully, it inspires people to look at those interactions a little differently. Because what I've found, the only solution we have out of homelessness is a rebuilding of our families and communities, because our families and communities don't give up on us. And what we've built in the United States out of the degradation of family and community, and our us investing ourselves out of shelter, like the 2008 housing crisis is a
Yeah.
perfect example. We're in a rough state, and we're not going to get better. It's just going to be as bad. So the bag helps maybe open up some of those interactions to maybe get something better. In my TEDx, like I said, it's not what can you do. It's, well, what can you do? What, because it's going to be on you. It's not. It starts with you. I call it direct positive action.